Yeah. Islam. I'm trying to be your friend, man. I'm trying to be your friend, bro. Help me out. Meet me halfway. Come on. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. Now let me be your friend. Peace and love. Let me be your friend. Peace and love. I said you ain't never met a more like me, and you ain't never ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love. Now let me be your friend. Peace and love. Hey yo, I used to be a thug until I met the prophet. Now I'm all about love, truth, peace, and freedom. Till I return to Allah. One day we gon' meet him. I'm all about justice, that's the focus of the message. Sometimes Asiatics make me wanna forget the lessons. I be all up in my passion from all the Moorish passion. All things considered, I start laughing. A grown man with a ponytail, another calling us Neanderthal, and he all pale. I mean, for real, this is what it come to, my brother. We got nothing better to do than talk down to each other. Yeah, we can be scholarly or we can get gutter. We are the children of one father, and the breast of one mother has nursed us all. And first of all, we beefing while the peen trying to murk us all. You need to chill, my brother. Tell the elder the same, cause on the real, my man, I'm really about them things. I can take the feds off and get back in the low and return to the state where they used to call me dope. But no, I'm rolling with the prophet of Allah. I want love, not war. Standing on that four, and I'm holding the square. The compass and the axe that might be too deep. Yo, let's not get off track. See, our prophet was an adapt. Do you know what that is? An Egyptian adapt is a brother who lived by the universal science developing the Nile. We call it Islamism, but it's the same, my child. Sit at the foot of a master. I train you up, but I might have to bang you up. I still love you, and those that's talking that this ain't Islam. Everything the prophet brought is in the Quran. All the other stuff, prostrate and cover up, is just the start. The nearest place to me, the law is the heart. You can dress like Imhotep, or you can dress like a herb. By the Moorish American Muslim unifies the word. You can say what you want about Dr. York, but he gave you different variations of the same thought. You don't appreciate that. You won't appreciate me. Appreciate the holy and divine true Ali. People refuse to admit it. He the first that ever did it. Europeans hope that the Moors would forget it, but we here, strong, alive and well, resurrected from hell, with a story to tell. So pay attention and listen and consider the facts. You know it's humanly impossible for you to be black. I guess a Chinaman is yellow, a Mexican is brown. Just think for a second how ridiculous it sounds. We can turn it around, but we must unite. It's okay to disagree, but we don't have to fight. Cause if we have to fight, you know how we get. I'm still learning to love. No, I'm not there yet. So work with me, fam, and I'ma work with you. And let's all work together and do what we gotta do. Cause on the real side, we haven't made no progress since 1929 when the prophet left the flesh. We got an Asiatic president, men marrying men, psycho shooting up a club and don't see his own sin. And those that say they conscious, that took your bucks. Move straight to Hollywood and straight living it up. And y'all bigging it up, straight cheesing and grinning. But it was your bread to help them set it off in the beginning. Be careful what you put in your soul, cause it could blind you. Unfortunately, some people get paid to misguide you. Oh yeah, I wanna be your friend. Peace and love, let me be your friend. Peace and love, I said you ain't never, and you would never. You ain't never, ever. You ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever gonna meet one again. I wanna be your friend. Peace and love, just let me be your friend. Peace and love, oh yeah, you ain't never met a more like this, and you ain't never, ever gonna meet one again. Just let me be your friend. Peace and love, just let me be your friend. Peace and love, I wanna be your friend. Yeah, let me be your friend. We ain't trying to be enemies. I wanna be your, let me be your, I wanna be your friend. Hey, yeah.
Welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV. I am your host, Brother Tahaka Bey. I hope y'all shared it. Did anybody share this? Are y'all in the building? I know I've been out of the office for a minute. I get it. I've been out of the office for a minute, but did y'all share this? Anybody share this? Huh? Well, I'm going to play another song then. Give me 1 second. Can I play another song? Can y'all hear me? I don't see nobody talking. That be Can you hear me? Check 1, 2. Can you hear me? We got a big deal coming on here this evening. Shoot, I don't know what y'all playing around with. Anyway, family, I've been out of the office. I've been busy. Yeah. Yeah, what's been going on? I see Golden Child in the building. Let me make sure we live. Shoot, I don't see nobody talking. How my mic sound? Ain't nobody. I ain't grift nobody. I ain't been away grifting. Shoot. Now, you know how the algorithms go. People ain't gonna get the alert and all that. So it's gonna be up to you to share this. It's gonna be up to you to share this. It's about to get real busy up in here. I mean, it's about to get super busy up in here. Let me get my fabulous lotion on. Cryptonomics say, man, listen, man, don't be you be overdoing it with the lotion. So I just put a couple drops. Yeah. I just threw a couple drops in that demonstration. That's right. And I'm telling up today. Who wants some smoke? I want all the smoke. That's right. We got the Tether Coalition going on up here. I'm representing all Africans around the globe. Who wants some smoke? I'm trying to tell you. I ain't playing with you. I'm all tethered up. Let me see. 7, it ain't harder than that song you got. It ain't harder than that song you got. I hear you. Oh, I'm about to put all my songs out there too. I keep saying it, but I am. But with that being said, family, we got to get busy, fam. We got to get busy. I hope y'all take and share this because I'm very opinionated, and you know good and well that I'm going to give it to you the way it's supposed to be given. So with that being said, I got my brother in here. Without further ado, I got my brother in here, Dr. Ausar Winkler. Dr. Daw, what it do, big bro?
Peace, peace and blessings, family. Peace and bless, brother T-Bay. What it is?
Hey, bro, let me tell you something, bro. I don't want you coming over here starting no mess because I seen you on your channel, Dr. Ausar Winkler, and I hope you put the link in there and people will go and check it out. But I seen you over there stirring up some mess, brother. You got to chill out. You know what I mean? You got to leave that up to me. All right?
Yes, sir.
Bro, you was kind of mad at Busta Rhymes, bro.
Mad
bro,
at Busta?
I think you was like mad at Bus because Bus said, quote unquote, black people or Africans in America don't have no culture. Bro,
yeah,
you felt some type of way about that?
You know,
what culture? All right, let me play the Angel's Advocate. So, do you think hot dogs and fried chicken is ganache?
I think
that sound like a right winger.
Do I think that's culture? Absolutely. I don't know if we created hot dogs though.
No, it was created in Frankfurt somewhere. But I think a bunch of slop. But yeah, but anyway, brother, you said you was going off. I mean, even off camera, you and I was talking, and you was feeling some type of way, bro. Why do you feel some type of way? Because he said, quote unquote, black people in America don't have no culture.
Let me start off like this though. I love Busta. When I was younger, I used to be bumping Busta, like some of them old school people that you talk about that I be playing what you saying.
I don't like when you do that. I don't like when you do that. What I'm saying? Okay, I ain't gonna cut you.
But Busta is one of my favorite MCs, right?
Right.
But after a conversation with a dear brother and sister the other night, I went ahead and I was wondering where the energy was coming from this conversation I was having with a dear brother and sister. So I started researching and I saw this video about Busta saying that black Americans, he didn't even clearly say black Americans, but after looking at it, and I can conclude clearly that he said Americans, meaning black Americans, don't have culture. In all the things in these urban settings, Latinos and Jamaicans, or the people from the Caribbean, including Latinos and Jamaicans, brought all that culture to the urban settings because Americans ain't got no culture. People in the United States don't have no culture. So to me, I take exception to that, one, but two, I think even in his analysis, it was just poorly done and ignorant as you hear him talk.
So when you say that we do have culture, Elaborate on that. What's that culture?
So look, check this out. I just had a whole conversation with a sister, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm not, look, culture is wide, right? I want to just say that one. Because look, when I'm talking about culture in this specific sense, I am speaking about what we call music, history. I'm talking about whatever orders our society. I am talking about all of it. I am not talking about hip hop. I am not talking about rap, jazz. I'm talking about all of that. And so what I'm saying is I am talking about that which helps us thrive, survive, maintain, live, and all those different things. So all of that.
And let me keep it a stack. I was just playing the Angel's advocate, but I think Busta is totally out of order. He was dressing like us. They didn't dress like he was dressing when he was with leaders of the new school in Jamaica. In Jamaica, they just was not dressing like him and his group from leaders of the new school. We created the style that they were wearing when they was talking about just another case of that old PTA. You remember that? That was a style that we created in the urban centers of America. So that is culture right there. So even the way where I think you and I talked about it off camera, like I didn't even know Busta was Jamaican until later on in his career, because I just thought he was a fast rapper. I thought that he was just a dramatic rapper with the rah rah was the Dungeon Dragon. And so even the way that he formulated his rhyme patterns is just exactly just like the essence of how rhyme patterns are formed from the inner city of America. It's just what it is.
So I said, my wife's Jamaican, right? So all y'all can call me a tether leather today, because I love that. I love that woman. You hear what I'm saying? So
hey, and y'all should go and get some of her cooking too. Boy, hey, ain't nothing like it. But go ahead, bro. My bad.
Diaspora and soul, Jamaican American fusion. You understand?
Yeah.
One, diaspora mean all the Africans. You see what I'm saying? Let's make that clear off the jump. But what I am going to say is Busta put his foot in his mouth. Busta, when I even look at what he says is, this is one of the things I said in my video. Busta says something very ignorant. He says that the Latinos and reggaeton allow him to feel more comfortable in his own culture, to infuse his culture into hip hop. But before then, he said that American blacks didn't have any culture. But then he said that somehow he was doing something that before he was confident and was courageous enough to infuse patois and his Caribbean flavor. So I asked Busta the question, what were you doing all the time before you felt confident after the Latino brothers and sisters helped you feel confident in yourself to articulate yourself and rap using your patois and your Caribbean culture? So evidently you were practicing what we call African American culture, Black American culture, Moorish American culture, or some variation.
Yeah, and I like what Paige said. He said Busta always had dreads with that Rasta hat, but I never made the connection according to how he was rapping, because it seemed like he was just. See, back then, hip hop, you got to remember, back then, everybody mastered a personal signature rap style, right? And they were all bridged from another rap style. So when you listen to Big Daddy and you listen to Rakim, they're two different styles, but you can see the connection there of how their wordsmith, their wording would come together. And so Busta, to me, and I'm a hip hop head. Busta, to me, I just thought that he was just flipping a style just to be different. I never made the connection until later, but Paige is right. He always wore that Rasta hat. I do remember that. But
an exaggerated version of a Rasta hat.
Yeah. And Cryptonomics say Busta always dressing weird though on some and that's true too. He wasn't even hip hop. He was hip hop to me, but it was just kind of it was kind of bizarre as comparison to listening to a Tribe Called Quest and listening to rappers like that. Let me get this in real quick. It said, how did we create the style if all the clothes were made by white companies? Well, you know that we take lemon and make lemonade. And so even though Europeans might have manufactured the clothes, it's us that put the twist to the clothes. Like, it's no different than Dapper Dan. Although Louis Vuitton had LV on this and Gucci had G's on this and that, it was Dapper Dan that was the one that took that to the textiles and violated every law as a infringement that you can name. And he was making these brothers these outfits, and then Louis Vuitton reached out to him. So we always take lemons and make lemonade. So we create the culture even out of the worst set of circumstances. So even though clothes are made by white companies, that don't mean that they make them fashionable. And that's when culture becomes a real thing, when the whole world vibes around, or your community vibes around what you do. You follow what I'm saying? That's culture.
Now I'm gonna add to that, right? So, okay, all right. I don't care even if we just wore what they have. When we put it on, it look different.
Exactly.
You got what I'm saying? You can't deny that. Well, okay, I tell a person, when you see a person, even you see the way we freak out the way we drive. When you see a person pull up in a Benz and he look like Tahaka, you know Tahaka gonna bring the energy to the whip. The whip look plain until Tahaka get up in there. You know what I'm saying? It just looked like a regular Benz. But when Tahaka be driving his Benz, you know, yeah, Tahaka got a Benz. I mess with you. But look, you know, when he whipping, whatever he whipping, he brings the style to it.
I like what our R&B Garvey said. How did we create slang as white people made English? Exactly. And that's what we need to understand. Like, and you know what? That's leading us to the conversation off camera. I was like, Doc, you know, when we getting something, we dominate it. It doesn't matter what it is, we dominate it. So when we get into this conversation about rap and hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Those are two different things, truly. What do you consider rap and what do you consider hip hop? Now, brother, I want you to watch yourself, because off camera, you be talking about my elders in the hip hop community, talking about that ain't rap, that ain't hip hop. I don't know what that is. Talk about Curtis Blow wasn't hip hop, bro.
All right, let me say this.
No, go ahead. Be mean to my elders.
Let me say so. Some of this is banter, right? Some of this is fun. Some of this is generational. Some of this is, you know, it's just me giving my own perspective from my own lens, my own optic growing up. So, like for example, so my argument against what's the difference between hip hop and rap, I think, some of our hip hop scholars fleshed that out, and now everybody's kind of repeating it. But what I'm going to say is, when people hear hip hop, I don't care who you are, you can lie if you want to, and think about some graffiti when you say hip hop. You can lie and act like you think you talking about some breakdancing and some b-boy stand when you talking hip hop. You can make that up if you want in your mind after you listen to KRS-One talk about the 5 elements who he got from somewhere else. I know, but you are some scholars in rap. But for the rest of the world, hip hop and rap is typically synonymous. Now you can say beatboxing because that's still a part of hip hop. That's still a part of rap. So what I'm saying is, yeah, I get it. I'm a scholar. They created a scholar. I know it's a framework. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying you can't use it. I'm not even saying it's not legitimate completely. But what I am saying is, for the masses of the world, the masses of people, the first thing they think about when they say hip hop is it is rap. And the reason why we got to differentiate it even is because we know people think rap.
So with this argument that who created hip hop, what side of the fence do you stand on?
Because well, go ahead.
What side of the fence do you stand on when the conversation, Moist Lips created this conversation, and we're having a conversation because Moist Lips tried to basically capitalize off the division of our community. But nevertheless, out of the worst, the wise find means of good, and it's a good conversation still. You know what I'm saying? And so So the conversation is that those who are children of slaves in the USA are the founders as well as the ones who constructed and established hip hop as we know it. The other side of the argument is like, nah, Fat Joe and a few others, KRS One said, nah, it was more than us. It was other people it was more than children descendant of slaves in the USA. It was also those who had migrated to this country that played a part in establishing or founding hip hop. Where do you stand on the side of the argument?
So I think it's evolving, but literally I've always studied two sides of the argument. After having a conversation with a dear brother the other day, I can see it as being as the dear brother shared with me, a Pan-African art form. But at the same time, we cannot deny the African American or the American Africanness that's within the art form. It is steeped in African American culture. You know, I'm talking about, because I'm saying synonymously hip hop. When people think about hip hop, they're talking about rap. And when we're talking about rap, who do we think about? Who do we remember? Who made the greatest? I'm not even going to say the greatest. What I'm going to say is, who do we think about?
Don't say who made the greatest hits. Don't do that.
I said contribution.
Jamaicans. If you let the popular culture tell it.
Well, let me
Biggie.
So to my argument to that will be no. I think that would be.
I say the popular culture. I
think Tupac and Biggie will be running, but I think
I think Pac got that on my.
That's what I'm about to say.
But
right?
popular culture would say
Pac all day. He represents hip hop. Like I don't think
and why
Pac is almost out there like a if hip hop is hip hop, Pac is almost like not there quite, but Bob Marley to a degree.
Yeah, I'm on the Pac side myself. I'm on the Pac side myself.
I've always been on the Biggie side and the Pac side. I like Pac. Like I don't know if I told you this. I like Pac, but he got too many songs. See, Pac got the songs from back in the day what I thought was whack. That's what I keep trying to tell you. Now, Pac, I love Pac because we claim Pac in Baltimore because he lived in my neighborhood. And he also in his song talking about his hood, he talks about Cater Avenue. That's my neighborhood. So we claim Pac, but Pac got some songs from way back in the day when with that old fashioned hip hop. So
what you talking about, bro? You got to be clear on Morse Road TV because you're not going to sit up here.
What's that? What's that digital underground? What was that?
I clown around when I hang around with the underground.
He was over there. He was like
he was bars. He was bars up in that.
He wasn't bars. I'm just saying he got like 1,000 songs, and you got to pull the best out of the 1,000, and it ain't nowhere near 1,000. But Biggie only made I know people say he made 3 albums or 2 albums or something like that, but I say he made 1.
All I like is the first one.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So Biggie only made 1 album. Of course, what I'm saying is some of this is banter, some of this is shop talk, street talk, around the way talk. This is arguments and all that. But what I'm saying is, the only song I liked on that album with Bones Thugs and Harmony is Bones and Biggie. Is Bones and Biggie.
I ain't even like that. But now,
dangerous.
Man, get out of here with that. now. So what side do you fall on? Do the children, descendants of slaves in America, own the title or the copyright to establishing hip hop, or was it a group of people?
Let me give a more nuanced response. I think that's where I was trying to go. When I think about my brothers and sisters from, let's say, the Caribbean, right, including Busta, right? If he was a first generation Black American, that's what he is. That's what he is. He's a Black American. I don't think he was born in Jamaica.
Who?
Busta.
Oh, but and I think that's where. Oh, all right. So listen. I think that's where the arguments the water get a little bit muddy,
right?
Because in this conversation, brother, which we're going to do tonight, going to try to,
right?
No one defines what is, number one, what period are we talking about a hip hop? Because people, if you allow the conversation to flow, they be talking about Yeah, they was rapping in Swahili on the continent. If you know what I mean. And so, in what time frame? Are we talking about when we're saying hip hop? You know what I mean? And that's the silly. And let me tell you something.
Absolutely.
That is the silliness of the whole conversation at the end of the day, because people have allowed moist lips to create a division where it's not even definitive. You see what I'm saying? What I mean is not definitive. From what period are we defining the start of hip hop?
Well, look, I'm talking about rap.
Or rap, hip hop, whatever.
And I'm telling you,
listen, when I say lyricism, I'm speaking of hip hop.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm not talking about breakdancing and none of that. That
so
came
that's
later.
why I want to be clear.
I'm talking about lyricism.
Right. So honestly, and I'm gonna tell you, don't get me to Hucker. You know what I'm saying? Look, you say you won't get me. I think Crip may have said something, but you know what I always say. Look, bro, from my age group, see, I'm a little different. I got a few years under you and a few other people. But to me, I'm just saying, from my age group, I was born in 79, and most people, even a little older than me and younger than me, we think Run DMC. I'm not saying those in the streets. Curtis Blow and don't
do this.
And Houdini. I was listening to him. I see why you call it hip hop. I do see why you call that rap. I do. I listened to it again. But what I'm saying is what would
you call it?
That was like, if you think about Kemet, right? Ancient Kemet, they have the pre-dynastic periods. that was like look, it's something different about when like the genre of a Run DMC comes on the scene and then goes forward. It's something about that I can't even, man, it's like, it's just a little different. I'm telling you, I even listened to it myself just so I can see. It's like the beat, it's the style, it's the thump, it's the heaviness of it. Now, I can't give look, but look, if you're gonna say Curtis Blow and Houdini are rappers, I'm gonna say that the Last Poets are as well, because they sound like this, they sound the same. Hold on. They had djembes behind them. They sound the same. I'm talking about the same rhythm, the same pattern, the same flow.
Doc, one love.
Okay.
You're lucky just to found like one love.
That's a good hook.
Love.
That's a good hook. But when I listen to the rest of the song, it's like, okay. I can't wait to get back to the hook.
Nah, bro.
It ain't nothing like when Run DMC come out like, I don't even know the words. It's in your face. It's like this different. It's all up on you. But what I'm saying is, the Last Poets,
hey, bro.
It's my father's hip hop.
The words love and life both have 4 letters, but they're 2 different things altogether. Because I like many ladies in my days, but they like the wind, they all blown away. You see, to love someone is an atmosphere, but both their share. Hold on, but to both their share when one not's there. There's no one way it could be explained. I guess it's the way I smile when I hear your name. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm reading it.
He's flowing.
Come on, man.
He's flowing. But again, look.
But you talking about you waiting to get back to the hook? You waiting to get back to the hook for what? You know what I mean? Come on, man.
And that was, I mean, you know what?
Listen, one more time. He said,
good, but I gotta listen to the music. I'm listening to the music, everything.
He said to have lost love was a hurting lesson, but to have had love was a definite blessing. Now, I know that Beatles. Now I know what the Beatles was thinking.
It right here, though, man.
Listen, now I know what the Beatles was thinking when they said money can't buy me. Come on, Doc. Come on.
Look, I give it. Like I said, I will flex with that, but that's my daddy's hip hop to me.
Can I get a call in? Call your father, man, because he something.
My father
did everything right by you except for hip hop. I'm
tell you why I thought it was my daddy's hip hop. I listened to it again.
He probably watched the shot.
It sounded like the Last Poets with music. I'm telling you, that's why I thought it was my daddy's hip hop. I had to go and really listen to this again when people start sending me stuff. So I do give it respect. But I'm telling you, for people my age and younger, we did not think that those people were rappers. Maybe you were in New York because everybody schooled you. But I'm saying outside of that and outside of hip hop head,
Bro,
you are a hip hop head.
basketball is my favorite sport. It's my favorite sport. I like they dribble up and down the court. Bro, he naming every bro. Basketball was one of them songs, right? Like when it was what I call it was hip hop that would give you every element of a situational hip hop. Let me put it like that. Just like my Adidas. That's situational hip hop. The situation or the subject matter is Adidas, and they swing it all the way around. The whole song is about Adidas. Curtis Blow got a song talking about basketball. He names all the greats of his time and all that. Bro, that's hip hop.
I'm just saying, I give it to him, but it was my daddy's hip hop. What you want me to take it? I'm just saying, like the kids now, what they tell me is,
I'm gonna talk to your father tomorrow. You shouldn't be on here doing this. Your father not gonna like it. He watching. Elder please.
That's
let's
what
talk.
though.
We
what
gonna
I
have
found
a
out
meeting
is
tomorrow.
my father didn't even like that hip hop. He was more
like
he was into the last poets.
Right.
But to me, when I heard them, follow me, they sounded like them. So I attributed it to my father. To me, Run DMC. I see my brother John Logic in here, and John Logic kind of broke it down for me the other night after he gave me a whipping. Right, he shared, like, it's a certain style, a few people shared this with me, right? That
it's the cadence, brother. It's the cadence of these rappers, bro.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you're just not going to convince me.
Listen. So listen to this. Listen to this. My favorite era of hip hop is twofold. So my favorite era of hip hop is when it was transitioning from the black conscious hip hop into gangster hip hop. My number one rapper at one time was a toss up between KRS-One and Kool G Rap. You know what I'm saying? They was my toss up. I'm telling you, I mean, just crazy toss ups.
Yeah,
I like the KRS-One because
these are rappers.
yeah. But whatever
they make it in my paradigm.
But that was my toss up. But then I think when hip hop hit another golden age in the 90s with the Biggies, the Mobb Deeps, and the Tupac, and that era right there, that was just, brother, we will never see an era like.
Hold on, say it again.
Biggie, Tupac, Mobb Deep.
I tell
Wu-Tang.
people that's my golden era, right?
That's
my golden era.
No. It's not only your golden era. They would Nas. You would never see a hip hop like that.
No, hold on.
You would never see one
let's
after
leave out
that.
of the Big Apple a little bit though before we go there. Because
you can go anywhere.
When I went to
Snoop was in that era.
Well, Snoop took over. He put the game in a chokehold for like.
But this is what I'm saying though. But that doesn't define the totality of hip hop. Hip hop was before then. Stop putting my elders in the graveyard.
I'll give y'all the elders. I told you this. I will. I'm just saying how we looked at it.
All right.
We didn't think they was rappers for real. We thought, I'm talking about not the folks that know everything and they did all the history. I'm saying a lot of people think that Run DMC, LL Cool J, Kumo D, Big Daddy Kane, my man, you know who one of my favorite rappers was, and people laugh at me.
Who that?
Kwame.
I like Kwame. Yeah, I like Kwame.
Kwame. They used to call me D Nice.
Hey, listen, because see, rappers was in friendly competition with each other, and that's what I was saying about Busta Rhymes. I took him as that he manufactured his style to be unique to him. I didn't associate with him being Jamaican, even though when I look back now and I can see it, but right. I never associated. I thought because Kwame had his own style, and whoever everyone had their own style. Slick Rick, everybody had their own style, but we missing the whole conversation for a second, brother.
Yeah,
who created hip hop?
I already said Africans in America. That's inclusive of all of them.
So you sound like Chubb Rock. I talked to Chubb Rock this weekend, and Chubb Rock wouldn't definitively say that it was Africans in America as it relates to those that are directly descendants of the slaves in the USA. And basically
African culture.
It's African American culture. So there is. So if a Jamaican was there, like Kool Herc, is that African American culture?
Absolutely.
So is he African American culture as a founder?
Absolutely.
Huh?
Absolutely.
So you all inclusive. If you in New York and you're Jamaican and you're participating in hip hop at the beginning stages,
but were they Jamaican or were their parents Jamaican? Were they born in Jamaica? Were they naturalized?
I think Kool Herc came here at an early age.
Were they participating in American African culture, or they explicitly like Jamaican? What I'm saying is, as I said on my show,
I agree with John Logic. You know what I mean? I believe I'm of the thought that it's hip hop Pan African culture. I agree with that 1000%.
Well, I'm going to say is African American culture.
What do you mean African American culture though?
In America,
who is the African American? Who is the African American?
All of those people, all of them.
So even Kool Herc, if he came from Jamaica at a young age,
was he naturalized? Did he grow up in this culture here?
Yeah, pretty much. So you minus the I like how you putting this too, because you sound like Chubb Rock and to a degree. No, because Chubb Rock, he basically said the same thing without demarginalizing anybody.
Demarginalizing.
Yeah.
What the hell does that mean? Excuse me.
Without segregating of anybody.
Oh, you okay? Marginalizing them. Okay,
marginalizing.
You're a wordsmith too. Let's talk about you. No, man, but yeah.
No. He didn't segregate anybody though.
Right.
He didn't segregate anybody. He was of the thought that, you know what I mean, if you were there, you were there, and it's made in America, and it is what it is.
It is what it is. That's what it is.
Dang, so we
because what makes a black person African American? That they're African and they live in America, is their lineage, is where they were born or they were naturalized into it. Don't demarginalize me.
God. Somebody got to clip that joint. That's right. Marginalized. Hey, man, look, if Moist Lips can make up something called tether, and that's what you do to a vote and plebiscite babble, that's a political term. I can make up some stuff too. Shoot.
But no, I mean, and this is not to count out my brothers and sisters, right? But like I say, look, my sister-in-law, guess what? She was born in Jamaica, right? She been around. She even grew up with Jamaicans, right? And she's been in America since she probably was, I can't remember, like 5 or something. Ain't no way you ain't gonna tell me she's straight East Baltimore.
Right.
Ain't never been down East Baltimore. I'm talking about East Baltimore, but she East Baltimore. Same thing for my brother-in-law. And I say my wife operates in 2 cultures. My wife does. She's been here since she was 15.
She like East Baltimore, like down the hill.
My wife can be straight from Yard or straight from down the hill too.
Good night.
Or at least northeast. We a little different. Northeast. She'll be a little northeast.
Because down the hill, I used to live right by Hopkins, boy, right around. Goodness gracious. Woo! But so are you of the thought that do you think this conversation is actually a market ploy?
Which one?
This conversation about the foundation of hip hop and who created hip hop, because now it seems to me like that. I don't know if you know the updates. Amazon has stopped carrying this divisive material now. They dropped it. They dropped it.
I was looking to examine it.
No, don't even. I get you the bootleg. Don't worry about it. Because listen,
no, that's a federal offense. We not getting.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Long as you don't sell it.
No, you gonna give me the bootleg though?
Yeah, as long as you don't sell it. It's pirating is selling it. I'm not selling it. Yeah, from the bootlegger.
Okay. Yeah. So he get in trouble, not us. Okay, guys.
Yeah, you can watch a bootleg video. You ain't got the. I mean, selling it is the breaking the law. But whatever the case, I mean, if I buy it from him, they might get. But anyway.
Run.
Anyway, the point that I'm making is the whole conversation is a distraction grift conversation because everybody is leading towards what you're talking about. And my dear brother, Lord Jamar. Man, I love me some Lord Jamar. That's my bro. And I love him because he's a straight shooter and he stands on what he believes in. And you cannot respect no one more than respecting someone who stands on what they're believing in.
Mm-hmm,
However, I'm of the thought that he's missing the mark on this one. You know what I mean?
What part though? What part is he missing? Tell me what part.
It seems to me, and I could be wrong, and he can correct me if I'm wrong. You know what I mean? I probably call him tomorrow. He been busy. They you know, them old school rappers getting out there getting busy. They working now, doing podcasts and everything. But nevertheless, it seems as if they're trying to exclusively make it those children that are descendants of slaves in America are the only ones that created hip hop, and no one else was there. That's the impression that he gives me.
Yeah, I'm not sure from what I saw because I didn't see the documentary, right?
Well, no, not the documentary. You got to understand what KRS said. KRS-One said that it was a collective of people, for all intents and purposes, that was there, that participated in the establishment of hip hop. And Lord Jamar, he says, KRS-One, I challenge you to debate. I challenge Fat Joe. I challenge Busta Rhymes to a debate that it was us and us exclusively.
So you should be able to easily debunk Busta Rhymes, right? I don't know what I mean. He should be able to obliterate Busta Rhymes because Busta Rhymes is very ignorant. I'm not going to see Lord Jamar. I agree with him more than Busta Rhymes for sure. Now, I don't know the totality of what Lord Jamar is saying, but Lord Jamar was definitely, she said Lord Jamar's Guyanese, and if he's saying that gives him more credit.
Yeah, but to say that, but to stand on the side of the argument that is this exclusively.
Did he say that though?
That's the impression.
Well, I don't know. I didn't hear.
And when I say that's the impression, I heard him say black people in the hood or the ghetto created this. It was us and us only.
Well, Jamaicans are black.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that he's implying, and I can stand it because no, he's implying that not Jamaicans, not Puerto Ricans,
but keep in mind what Lord Jamar is also saying too. After I was having a conversation, I went and looked him up quickly. I can't say I looked at it very thoroughly. I'm talking about a lot of different things, but one clip that I did see Lord Jamar say is the same thing I have been saying. We ain't talking about no graffiti art. We ain't talking about the dancers. We ain't talking about all of that. We talking about lyricism. And
the thing is, you got to remember, you got to remember that you got the DJ too, because the DJ was the more hip hop than the rapper in the beginning.
Say it again. Well, the DJ, yeah. But again, remember what I'm saying. Kool Herc is still operating within Black American culture, even if he's Jamaican or whatever, he's a part of that. If I went to Jamaica,
but that ain't the argument though. That ain't the argument. The argument is, yeah, I get your argument, but the argument that made this a conversation on social media is that it's exclusively quote unquote black descendant of slavery. That's what made this a hot topic.
Yeah, so
it ain't make it a hot topic because it's painted with a wide brush that anybody in America is of American culture. No, it's those people who are descendants of the slave here in America created hip hop exclusively without a Puerto Rican, without a Jamaican, without on and on.
What I would say is this. This is a real question.
That's the argument. I'm not saying that's what I agree with, but that's the argument.
What just for because again, Puerto Ricans come in all hues and they identify differently. They're talking about immigration. They're talking about immigrant Puerto Ricans. They're talking about immigrant Puerto Ricans that at some kind of way along the line, maybe it was the 50s, 40s, even the 60s or the 70s, migrated to New York. They didn't have no. What aspect of hip hop are they talking about that Puerto Ricans brought about? What aspect? Because we got 5 elements.
And that's what I said. That's what makes this a muddy water conversation, because when they start talking about these 5 elements, you know what I mean? I think the main elements of hip hop that need to be acknowledged is the DJ and the rapper, because the DJ was before the rapper.
So what I'm saying, so if you're going to go with those two
simultaneously,
what's the Puerto Ricans? This is a real question, because I'm not the historian on this. I'm saying part of this is shop talk, but part of this is also that I also realize when the way that the majority of the world look at hip hop, I can see why people say it's of African or American African origin. Right. Now I don't know now what hip hop brought us together, and now the argument tears us apart.
Exactly, and that's the sad part about it. No, not us here.
No. I don't even think that's true though. I think that
is true.
No, I'm tell you why it's not true. Okay. Because if we were so together, ain't no one little thing like that gonna tear us apart.
Well. Let's say it's a part of the tearing apart process. It's like it's so many things that we're up against that tears us apart, and here's another thing that helps with that.
There was already some tearing, and there was also
we got plenty. No, this is just another thing to continue to be divisive amongst us.
I agree with that. I can agree with that, but I can't agree with this utopic idea because I know too many people. In fact, I just rebroadcast the interview earlier from a brother, Danny, who identifies as Afro Latino, Afro Puerto Rican, who clearly, and I know plenty of other brothers who told me these things and how, you know, and even my brother, I ain't gonna say his name, but he up in Brooklyn, and he was talking about how he thought too. And I think sometimes I hear different arguments from different people. Just to be honest with you, I hear different arguments from Black people, especially NY, and the Puerto Ricans from NY. I'm just gonna be honest. And the Puerto Ricans in NY will tell me how much they actually and how they saw Black people, literally. But the Black people, quite a few of them told me, you know what, we were all together. And then they said until we went to jail.
But brother, but listen. That's the Twitter argument now. What you're talking, mm-hmm. which is true to someone's experience, but people get popular on Twitter by pointing out those differences and then they highlight them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So in every community, you definitely going to have these ethnic rivals. But in a lot of our communities, although there may be an ethnic rival going on, there also was the children that was playing together, growing together, building together, and establishing things together.
You know what I mean? Man is Italian.
That's crip. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So
I get it.
So the older people, the older people always have these little ethnic rivals.
Hip hop brought us for that. Hip hop brought us all together. It brought us together with white folk too, and their children.
There you go.
But did it really? That's what I'm saying. But did it really? No, it didn't really. No, it didn't. I'm sorry. I'm saying I work with people.
Doc, you're gonna stop yelling at me, Doc.
Hey, you know that's the new thing on the street. I'm yelling. But look. But did it really? I mean, yeah. I mean, what I'm saying is, on one hand, yes, I think we should come together. But I'm not going to sit here and act like these rifts ain't really happening, because to act like these rifts aren't happening and aren't pervasive under the surface, it will do us a disservice of truly coming together.
Right. You're going to stop yelling at me.
Hey, stop that, brother talk. Hey, so look, Crip said he trolling. So keep the good work up, Trip. So Method Man is Italian, and
No, the thing is, he said this discussion predates Moist Lips. The discussion does, but it got to a toxic point dealing with Moist Lips. That's what you got to understand. We've had many discussions and opposing thoughts in our community about many things. But one of the things that's being pushed now is that we are exclusively on an island to ourselves. We're going to get reparations on this island to ourselves, and then we're going to walk off into the sunset. Where in reality, we are a group of people that has been dispersed out throughout this planet, and we should never let anyone come in to push the idea that someone suffering at in Jamaica or Cuba or somewhere else problem differs from ours. I agree that we should address our problem as we face it. However, as we address ours, we can chew bubblegum and walk at the same time. We can also move as a collective universally too.
I agree. I mean, I don't know about moving as a collective universally without putting the work in first.
But it's like-minded people that's going to move like that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's because only like-minded people is going to get the work done anyway.
I get that. But at the same time, you know, I think we highlight all of it. We highlight, you know, it's kumbaya. We highlight the kumbaya because in the black community, we can say within the black African-American community that hip hop brought us together. Block parties and all types of things. But underneath it all, what work do we have to do? What's this?
See, he said, what other on African culture came out in the last 50 years stronger than hip hop? I don't think there has been a culture on the planet Earth stronger than hip hop, actually, other than religion. There's nothing that moved as hip hop has moved, other than Islam and Christianity. That's it. So now we see that even hip hop become cultish.
Yeah, my thing with yeah, you know, I do have my man Busta though. If I can go back to him a little bit, I don't know if I finished this off right.
Go ahead.
But my thing with Busta is I love Busta, right? I literally, like I was saying earlier, I put my wife down with Busta Rhymes. She's Jamaican, full grown yachty. You know what I'm saying? And she taught me all types of culture. I experienced all type of culture. Just being in her house and her family, likewise in my house. But the thing about Busta saying that African Americans don't have no culture and Latinos and Jamaicans brought all the culture to us, I think that is disingenuous. One. Two, to say that somehow he became this, you know, he started putting his patois and started bringing his culture into it. Like, even when he started to evolve, I was a little excited about him evolving to doing dance hall. But the Jamaicans I know don't take him serious in that. You know, the Jamaicans I know, look, in fact, a lot of Jamaicans I know that they not even, Busta's not even their favorite rapper. I don't know if this is relevant completely, but what I'm just saying is someone like me who don't have Jamaican roots appreciate Busta Rhymes. You dig? And I was excited to know that his family and roots did come from Jamaica, because I love all my brothers and sisters, including those Latino brothers and sisters, those Jamaican brothers and sisters, those from Trinidad, those from Tobago, those from all my Haiti brothers and sisters. You know, my sister-in-law is from Haiti. You know what I'm saying? We grew up all together. But I am going to say I wasn't Esau. I wasn't in Esau. But I damn sure was an Esau like every day. And what I mean, if you said, what is Esau? English is second language. It's like a class that when people come from other countries and they're trying to, you know,
you sound like the United Nations over there right now.
What I'm saying is, bro,
the Pan-African United Pan-African Nations.
What I'm saying is I'm around Caribbeans, Jamaicans, Africans all the time. And they talk to me like I'm some special Negro. Oh, what's wrong with the rest of y'all?
See. That's why the moist lips and those crazy underdeveloped Africans in America, or those descendants of slaves, that's when they take that and run with it on Twitter, because those type of stereotypical sayings right there.
What is Ja talking about? Jamaicans, people are ignorant folks too. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is it's pervasive in all our cultures. I'm not gonna lie about it from the African American part too. The ignorance is pervasive all around, and we gotta do something about it. We can't act like it don't exist. Right, look, we can sugarcoat it and act like hip hop broke all the damn curses. We were dancing together. We probably was having, somebody told me, oh, what happened? We were having babies together. When did having babies together stop the division? White people done had babies with black people all the time and enslaved their children. What? I mean, what I'm trying to say is, what are we talking about? What we say, I mean, I get it. We want to live utopic, But if we really want to live utopic, we have to address the issues in the elephant in the room.
But you know, utopic ain't gonna never happen though. You believe that?
Listen to what I said. I said we're acting like we're living in these utopic enclaves.
Oh. Okay, got it.
Look, but that doesn't mean that we don't address the realness. Because if my brother can tell me, look, bro, we was all good on the streets until we went in the Latin Kings, we had to create the Bloods to combat that. Bro, I'm saying I do healing circles. What I'm saying is I talk to all types of people about their deepest things. I know what's going on within under the surface. Look, I've been talking to people who 50 and 60 years old, but even on this hip hop thing, right? There's people much older than all of us in this. I don't know about everybody, but you, me, and the people I know in this chat, much older than us that can tell you much more extensive history. I am not saying we should be divisive, but what I am saying is if we're going to be as inclusive, we have to agree. I mean, this is my argument. You ain't got to agree. Is African American or American African art form, because the same people say it's Pan-African, meaning all these people are Pan-African and we all are in America.
But to define African American, they're trying to lend that to those who are directly descendants of the plantations.
That's not what African American is. That's what my brother Moist Lips is. He created a whole new term for that. I would never. But that's the modern day argument from his perspective that got people talking. That's different than American African.
Lord Jamar was in the Janky documentary, and that's what got us even having this conversation now.
So my brother Josh says, when pro-blacks can't even agree that we finally had a Pan-African created culture in the melting pot of a city that afforded us the real-time connection, we are in trouble. No, a pro-black means that we acknowledge that, but we also acknowledge it happened in America. That's it. I mean, it's two things I'm saying. I'm agreeing with what you're saying, but you're not agreeing with what I'm saying. That's the difference. I'm agreeing that it's a dis and conversation. That is the difference. See, if you only want to call it Pan-African, it leaves it out of its roots, and it started here in America.
But you can be Pan. Are you a Pan-African?
Yes.
You in America.
I'm Pan-African in America, but I'm
Absolutely.
also.
So the art form can be Pan-African and created in America. Is that right?
Yeah, but Pan-African is broader, just to say generally Pan-African, right?
No. I think what it implies is that it was a collective that helped bring this thing out of the shell, if you will, to the public.
You're right, a collective.
Yeah,
a collective.
So it can be Pan-African, but born in America.
All right, so that's what I'm saying.
That's exactly
what I'm saying. That's it.
All right. So don't be coming for my brother Jai Logic.
No, Jai is not saying that. He does not.
He said when pro-blacks can't even agree that we finally had a Pan-African created culture.
Where's within America?
Listen. In a melting pot of a city that's within America.
But it's the part that I'm going.
He's not saying America, but he's saying in a melting pot of a city. He's talking about New York City.
But I am saying something very different. I am saying it is American origin.
No. Listen what I'm saying. He's saying the same thing.
Black American origin, African American origin.
With nobody.
Which is also Pan-African.
With nobody assisting. No Jamaicans or nobody.
I'm telling you, those Jamaicans were American.
But that's what make it Pan-African, though, because Busta Rhymes don't see himself as American.
What is Pan-African?
Someone who is descended from across the African diaspora, as we are spread out everywhere.
Someone who's descended from the African diaspora.
And we're spread out all around the globe. Absolutely.
Pan-Africanism is an ideology.
Absolutely. So whether you are in America today, you acknowledge that you descended from somewhere else yesterday.
So, you know what I think about, and when most people think about when they think about Pan-African?
But it doesn't matter what they think about is what it is really defined as, though.
No,
that we are a
I'm talking
collective.
about how it's defined. I'm talking about even how it's defined.
All right, how it's
It's
defined.
defined. It's more of a African, continental, and diasporic thing, collectively.
I
right?
just said that.
No, that's not exactly what we're saying about this music. The music wasn't an African continental.
No. I think you're looking. I think you're
Mhm.
looking. I think what you're saying is that
Mhm.
okay, it's people on the continent of Africa making a contribution. We're saying that it's people that are descended from Cuba, that descended from presently descended from Puerto Rico, and
Okay.
emigrated to America, and they played a part in the development of it.
And they
That's
were
Pan-African too, though.
The part that I'm saying is that they were practicing American culture.
Who's the
Just
originator?
let's listen to Busta Rhymes. And then he said we don't have Lord Jamar made a good argument. Busta Rhymes says we don't have any culture, right? Did he not say that?
Yeah.
But then he also calls himself a god.
Yeah.
Does that make
he's confused though? Of course, he's
a lot of us are confused. Yes, I'm being specific.
Yeah. He's being confused, but I think at the end of the day, you know how I try to look at things. I think you know me well enough now. How I try to look at things is that okay, Crips say what does Pan-African has to do with hip hop? Because Pan just mean all or. What it would be?
Exactly. You said
it'll be all basically.
All, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
All African.
And so it doesn't matter where you are; it's where you're at. So all of those that are descended would be, and it would be implied that they was instrumental in the foundation of hip hop.
Not all Africans were instrumental in.
No. In New York. I mean, not all, bro. What I'm saying is
that's why I'm saying it's confusing. You all are making it more confusing.
No. Okay, let's break it down. Let's just deal with the Jamaican and the Puerto Rican element.
Okay.
Are their origin out of Africa?
It depends who you talk to. But what do I think?
From your educated background, are Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans descendant out of Africa? There you go. So we got Puerto Ricans, we got Jamaicans, and we got those
the enslaved ones.
And so then we got those descendants from slaves in the Bronx, New York, living in the same community.
Mm-hmm.
So it's implying that these three are pan. They might not subscribe to the Pan-African ideal, but it represents the ideal because they're coming from different backgrounds, but they're in the melting pot of.
School me, please. School me.
They're in the melting pot of New York and the Bronx.
Please school me. Can you tell me school me on the DJ and the music, especially MCing, because I'm definitely ignorant of this, and I'm being honest. The Puerto Ricans, and it's not going to change my perspective, nonetheless. But I'm asking, what Puerto Ricans are the MCs? Like, what MCs were Puerto Rican at the founding of hip hop?
I cannot name what Puerto Rican was the MC at the founding of hip hop, but I guarantee you I can Google. I bet you I can Google, and they would have an argument that one was. I guarantee.
I probably would agree with you. I mean, I imagine you can find something.
But
right?
let me say this. Then let me ask you. Educate me. What was the ethnic population of the Bronx in 1970, and it as it relates to quote unquote black people and Puerto Ricans or Latinos?
The ethnic population?
The ethnic population. How many quote unquote black people? I don't know. And how many quote unquote Puerto Ricans?
I don't know.
Somebody Google that and put it in the chat for me. Those numbers right there would would make an indication who was there. And so if a Puerto Rican would say, yeah, I was one of the original rappers or talkers on the mic, because many of them just was talking. You know what I mean? Many of them just was talking. It'll be hard to fight that argument when you look at the census.
Well, you know, it's almost like, okay, club music in Baltimore, right? Who was one of the most instrumental people in Baltimore in club music?
Huh?
Who was one of the most instrumental people at the beginning of club music in Baltimore?
Who was one of the instrumental?
Most instrumental people.
Big Tony.
No, I'm talking about DJing.
What? Reggie Reg? Frank Ski?
Frank Ski.
Oh yeah, DJ Booby.
Is club music a Baltimorean thing?
Absolutely.
Baltimore. Was Frank Ski from Baltimore?
Absolutely.
No.
He ain't? I thought he was from Baltimore.
No, he's not. He's not.
Where you from?
I don't know where he's from. He's not from Baltimore.
Bro, he got to be from Baltimore.
No, I'm telling you, he's not.
Stop.
I can't remember where he's from. I'm telling you, he's not from Baltimore. You gonna Google it? And guess what else? Club music from Baltimore has origin. You cannot deny the origin of house music, but it's a Baltimore music. Where is Frank Ski from? Look, I'm trying to keep the air from. I know you're Googling. Go ahead and Google and get that. Let's look and see where Frank Ski is from. You know, you can just tell I'm from Baltimore. Look, if he's from Baltimore, no, he's not from Baltimore. But, you know, V103 is his Baltimore thing. That, you know, where's Frank Ski from? He's in
Frank
Georgia.
Ski from Harlem, New York.
Okay. So it's club music in Baltimore is Harlem. It's a pan-American art. It's a pan-American art. It's no longer Baltimorean because Frank Ski was so pivotal in the creation and the early stages of it. He was so pivotal. And so it's no longer a Baltimore thing because Frank Ski's from Harlem, New York.
Nah. It don't work like that.
No, I'm giving you the same thing you giving me.
All right, run it back to me because I'm looking for something else too.
Hey,
run it back.
You said that club music was a Baltimore thing,
right?
And I'm saying because I know Frank Ski is not from Baltimore,
right? He only played club. He didn't create club. That's different.
He only played club.
Yeah, he spun.
Bro, ain't no such thing. Ain't no such.
He spun the records, bro. He
didn't
didn't create club music.
Look. All right, we're gonna put club music on the hip hop umbrella today.
But he didn't create club music, bro.
All the DJs created it.
But he didn't create. No, that was before Frank Ski.
You know what I'm saying it's an evolutionary process. This is what I'm saying. Similar
I get
to
what you're saying, but we're talking about the foundation of hip hop. Frank Ski is not the foundation of club, though.
He's one of the foundations.
No, bro.
Who's the foundation?
Come on, man. We gotta go before Frank Ski. Hold on.
You can't go to before Frank Ski. It's an 80s thing.
Man, Frank Ski wasn't even around in the 80s, bro.
He was around in the 80s. Frank Ski, Doodoo Brown. What are you talking about?
That wasn't no 80s. That was the 90s.
That was the 80s. Two Brothers and a Dog.
Bro, that was not the 80s. Right, I'm about to, bro, you got me Googling too much. Bro, hold up. Doodoo Brown. Hold on. That wasn't no 1980, bro. You done gone crazy now.
Look, Paige said, Doc, are you a musician?
Nah, man, he not no musician. He tripping.
I'm a troublemaker. You know.
Hold on.
Paige, he's from
That
Jamaica.
was 91, bro.
That's early. That's early. That's club music. That's club music. That's like the beginnings.
That was 91, bro.
That's like the beginnings of club music. I'm telling you.
No, the beginning of club music was
late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, it was before Frank Ski jumped in the game.
No, and what I'm telling you, it doesn't matter because we're not talking about it's right in that startup period. Frank Ski, you cannot
he made it
deny,
popular, bro, because he was on the radio, bro.
No, he wasn't the only one on the radio. You cannot deny Frank Ski as a founding pivotal character.
Our audience don't know about that. Let's get back to hip hop.
Look, I'm giving an example. This is a metaphor.
That ain't a good example.
You see how you holding on to it? You holding on to it.
That ain't a good example.
It's a great example. It just ain't fitting your bill.
I'm about to show you. Just like you said, Curtis Blow ain't hip hop.
No. You know I was playing with that though. But that's my father's hip hop. I mean, your hip hop. Right. Your hip hop.
All right. So look. Baps Records, 1989. Originated Frank Ski came right behind. I told you, bro. Frank Ski came behind, bro. He ain't the original, but he did make it popular. He made it popular. He made it popular.
But he's a part of the founding of it. He is Mr. Doodoo Brown. There's no other track. I can't think of one that came out of Baltimore that's more.
Scotty B, Rod Lee.
Oh, please don't give it to Scotty B.
That's what they're saying.
No, Scotty B. It's not as white American. It's white American. It's not African American anymore. It's white American because Scotty B is white. Scotty B is white.
It don't matter. This is what they saying though. This is what they saying. They said Scotty B, Rod Lee, and we know Rod Lee.
No, Rod Lee was later though.
Yeah, I know that. It says it was pioneered by Scotty B.
Oh, so now is a white American art form.
Brother, I just Googled it real quick.
On Google, you're gonna have to fix your Googling skills, brother.
No, this is the history. This is elements. Listen. This is Elements of Music and Arts Festival. The history of Baltimore Club in 10 tracks. This is a Baltimore website.
Yeah, it might not be accurate though. I don't think Scotty B is the first person to ever, not at all. But Scotty B is a legend though. I can't lie about that. Yeah,
but what I'm saying is,
even with Scotty B in there, it's not a white American art. He was just a part of it.
Let me get back to hip hop though. What I'm saying about hip hop is that it's like I'm about to have this debate with possibly with Dr. Ball. And I'm going to give some structure to elements of capitalism, right? And one might say, well, this is how capitalism is actually seen. But many people don't know that there's other definitions of capitalism besides the running definition that everybody tends to lean towards. So when we're talking about hip hop,
hold up.
So when we're talking about hip hop, right? The argument is real cut and clear. The argument is that those who are descended from slaves created hip hop exclusively with no help from anybody who immigrated.
Scott,
now the argument is being a little muddied because it's saying like if you was born here, you are African American, and it's an African American art. So let's get to defining. Number one, are we talking about those who are descended from the slave trade creating hip hop, or is it those who are descended from the plantation in America that created hip hop, or is it also Jamaicans and Puerto Ricans who had a hand in it too?
They were all on plantations at one time. So I would say yes.
So Jamaicans and Puerto Ricans had a hand in it too?
You said, whereas them who descended directly from plantations, and I said they all were on plantations at one time. So yes.
But no, but does that minus the Puerto Rican in New York and the Jamaican in the Bronx?
I'm being facetious. I know your real question.
Oh, but no, we're gonna get you right.
I know your real question, but I just wanted to be a little funny. They all were on plantations at one time.
I know. I wouldn't even go ride that one. But I wouldn't even go touch that. So you get me in a plebiscite Bible with the booty.
But look, again, what I'm saying here is it similar. I'm just using an analogy here. Please allow me to use my analogy.
If you don't be definitive, then I'm going to support you for the candidate for Baltimore mayor next fall.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. But please allow me to use this analogy that I'm using. And somebody said Uncle Luke was the one to do Doodoo Brown. He wasn't. He kind of picked that up. But you gotta give big shout outs to Two Loud Crew and Uncle Luke. But they had their own era in the early years as well. But what I'm saying is the analogy is just an analogy when I say club music in Baltimore. And it's just an analogy because we understand that Scotty B had a part of it, a major part of it, that Frank Ski had a major part of it. But there's no way that these guys are going to be able to say this is white American music because Scotty B also has something to do with it, and that Frank Ski, because he's from Harlem, New York, and he had something to do with the early years with probably one of the number one charted hits. I'm going to say there's some more hits after that came later on with Black Star and stuff like that, Black Star and a couple other with some other people, yeah. But nonetheless, but early hits, Frank Ski without a doubt was the man with Big Tony, Miss Tony. You know, that's what I'm saying is, but Frank Ski wasn't from here. Miss Tony was. All these other DJs were. Scotty B is from here, but he's white. But it's not a white art. It's a black art form that was born here in Baltimore.
But if we be honest and not be emotional about it, then you have to include everybody. You just can't say Scotty B because he's white. No, it's not a white thing. No, it would have to be a collective.
If you want to go,
it would have to be. I mean, to be honest.
But if you want to go there, then we have to do that with everything. That's fine. I can go with that.
But that'll be honest.
But okay, if
we can't go with like, because we dominate everything and we make it popular, we the best at everything. It is what it is. And so once we
who is we?
We here, those descendants of slaves in America, when we get involved in something, we dominate it, we perfect it, we take it, and then we pass it on to the next person. Even if the person before us was the ones to even hand it off to us, or if we took it from them, whatever we do, we perfect it. And so it becomes ours by default. But when you pull the layers back and you look at things closely, it seems to me that there are other people there in its inception.
Man, I'm going to tell you this. I think I'm feeling my man Cryptonomics though, for real. I think Cryptonomics kind of the way that he frames things, he keeps it a buck. But I get what everybody's saying. If you want to use that particular measure, Brother Talk, I can go with that as a scientist, right? If you want to say it's a Pan-American thing, I can go.
I'm not using the colloquial. I'm not using as we understand Pan. I'm not using Pan African or the way that we use it with them conscious circles. No, I'm just saying it was collectives.
No, I'm saying so. Even with the analogy I'm using, if you want to call it a Pan American thing, then I can go with that. But then we have to do that with almost anything, because it would be difficult to tease out who actually was all involved in any art.
That's always been my argument.
So, I mean, I can go with that if that's the argument, and I can go with you in that way. But this is not the argument for most people. You. So I can, if there's one black person from America that was in Jamaica when reggae was, and he was doing some reggae stuff with him, or he was on a beatbox or whatever, then now it has to become an American art form. I don't. That doesn't gel with me.
It's not theirs though. It's not theirs. It's not. It's the same way that hip hop unites people. It has always brought people together. Music bring people together. We do know that. Whether it bring them together just to party and then go home and then beef on the street the next day, but it always bring people together. You know that. But what I'm saying is that hip hop. I refuse. I'm not of the thought that there was a few people that were there and they were descendants of the plantations here in America and said, you know what? Today we're creating hip hop.
But see,
when we lived in poverty in these communities, and these are art forms that are born out of poverty, born out of struggle, and born out of expressing that bottled up stress, trauma, and anger and frustration. And there are other people that are there in those projects.
Okay, cool. Everything's everything. Is a Pan-African, is a Pan-American.
No. I'm just saying, the thing is, brother, if we can't definitively narrow it down to one person,
well, that's about it.
Then we gotta look at the neighborhood. We gotta look at the demographics. We gotta look at everything.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, but if that's the way you want to measure it, I'll go with that.
But now, you know my argument on the other side of that. There is no one on the planet Earth that can take something like us and polish that thing and deliver it to the world we own everything we get involved in, bro. You just said if you
again?
step in a bit, we own everything we get involved in.
Well, let me say something, brother John.
That's why. That's why. Anytime we involved in something, we show up and we show out. And when
So
we done with it,
you say own.
We own it.
Who own it?
But I mean, own it. I'm symbolically mean that we possess whatever we get involved in.
Who is we?
I'm talking about those who are descendants of the plantation here in America.
Okay.
When we get involved in something, whether we created initially or not, we own it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think
that's why it gets so popular. Because we own anything we get involved in.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna come as strong as you.
We do, bro.
We do. I mean, that to me,
bro, we make a baseball snapback hat, cool for the world.
But I do want to say this. My brother Josh says we can't share creation of hip hop. We screwed. It's not that big, brother. It's not that big, brother. It's just not. People are gonna always debate about things. Historians would debate about it. These things will go on for time. Just because people differ in opinions, perspectives, don't mean that we're screwed because of something like this. The fact that we think we're screwed is the problem. We Tahaka are here debating this thing, and guess what? Tomorrow if we see each other, we probably gonna hug each other and
Listen, the next thing we're going to be doing, we got a podcast coming up called Unbiased Perspectives. And that's what our podcast is about. It's about us sharing ideas, expressing our opinions, throwing some facts in there and throwing some a couple jabs in there because I will be calling his father tomorrow for him talking about our old school rappers. But other than that, man, we having a healthy conversation.
You see that right there?
What's that?
You can't deny the Italian mafia influence on gangster rap either.
Good night. This joint pan Italian now.
They just give it away. Yeah, it's all right. I'm good.
Hold on, Doc, you got a little bit more time. It ain't even 12 o'clock yet. Let's put the link in here. Let's put the link in here. John Logic say he want to come in. Let's put the link.
Oh, man.
Let's put the link in. Let's get John Logic.
Look, I mean, I was on the phone with John Logic the other night, man. I ain't trying to go.
Listen.
We was in there 12 o'clock.
I think
John not going to be able to get it out in between the next 15 minutes, bro.
Yes, he can. Because I'm going to cut him off if he can. But no, look, at the end of the day, right, I think you and I, John Logic, and whoever else that is willing to have these conversations, they should come up to the front and have these conversations so they can be healthy. And show the people that like to look at podcasts who have hot topic conversations how to do it. We walk away as brothers, we walk away as friends, and at the end of the day, what we gonna build tomorrow? What we gonna build tomorrow for those that need these doors to walk through? You know what I mean? What we gonna do? I think that's more important than anything. You know what I mean? Like we could talk about who created hip hop, and all of that, but who owns hip hop right now? You know what I'm saying? We could argue about who created the traffic light, but who owned the traffic light right now? I mean, who owned the patent right now? You know what I mean? So all of these, this type of argument here is not that serious to me.
It's not that serious.
It's not that serious to me because, like, who created the elevator? But who owns the patent to the elevator right now? It ain't benefiting us for real. You know what I mean, who owns hip hop right now?
I'm
talking about from a financial standpoint. So it's not that serious.
Let me say this. My analogy was still pretty accurate because when they was like, well, hip hop is just not a music form. And when I was using the analogy of club music in Baltimore, it has the dancing, it has the MC, it has all of that too. So it's a culture as well.
I agree. I told you we dominate anything we get involved in, bro.
No, Scotty B is
Run DMC had people. Run DMC had people wearing no shoestrings, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No shoestrings, bro. Like, bro, you want to keep your shoes on your feet so you can move comfortably. They was rocking no shoestrings. You know what I mean? And that's culture too. And now let me get back. Somebody said African Bambata, the word Bambata in Fulani means the support of someone.
Mm-hmm. If you want hip hop, give me my drums back. What? What's that mean?
That's because without the drum, hip hop from a rap standpoint is nothing.
If you want hip hop, but what is this person saying? That's what I'm saying.
African got to take the African drum back. I think that's what Paige saying. He a Morris World TV citizen. He can break it down again.
I think Paige is saying that it's an African art form or something like that.
Well, but that's why I say this a muddy. Mm-hmm. That's why I say this is a muddy water argument, because you'll get some people that go all the way back and talk about they was rapping in Swahili, they was breakdancing in the dirt on the desert of Africa. You know,
I kind of like what you said though. I mean, but not as I'm not gonna come as forceful because I'm trying to be in the middle. But it seemed like people think I'm taking on either side. You got to understand people on both sides are coming for me because I said I can see that it's a Pan-African art form, but it's also has origins here as an American.
But when you're saying, let me bring Jai Logic in 1 second, Jai Logic. But when you say that it's a American art form, it seems as if you're saying it exclusively.
I just said two things though. That's what I'm saying.
I know you're saying two things.
Most people are fighting me from both ends of the spectrum.
But that's what I'm saying. The argument that started this with Lord Jamar was that it's exclusively descendant from those who are descendants from the plantation in America. But I'm just saying that's what started this conversation to move in this direction in this era of time.
Lord Jamar is the one who started this?
No, Moist Lips started it, but when KRS made a statement on the internet, Lord Jamar came back and clarified and said, no, nobody else was there. Right. This is a quote unquote Black American thing. People who are descendants from the plantations in America created without the help of anybody. He said they may have assisted along the way, but it's our thing and that's it.
But that sounds like double talk.
Well, I just want to jump in.
Let me get Jai Logic in.
Yeah, because I said what I had to say. Thank you for reading my chats. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Salute Doc, salute to Haka Bay, salute to the chat.
Yes, sir.
When he talked, I just want to piggyback on what he said about the Lord Jamar part. I feel like Lord Jamar brought validity to that bullshit argument. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they put him on the documentary. Because him and Grandmaster Cass was both on Vlad, and that's the connection, by the way, too. They was both on Vlad. They both answered similar questions on Vlad. And y'all know, as you call him Moist Lips or Montel Jordan wannabe, or whatever you want to call this dude, you know what I'm saying? He has a connection with Vlad.
Absolutely.
You know, Lord Jamar let Vlad use him. I'm going to be respectful because I could say another word. He let him use him. And now Tariq Nasheed is using him because that's bringing validity to that BS argument because he is an OG in hip hop. And he's from the New York City area. Not necessarily New York City. He's from the New York City area. So that's bringing validity to this divisive debate. You know what I mean? And I agree that we should all leave as brothers. Doctor, you got to add me back on Facebook.
Add you.
You got to add me.
No. Come on, Doc. You ain't do that, Doc.
No. How do I? No, you got to be on my Facebook.
No. I'll go right now. Don't make me share the screen.
No. Go share the screen. You got to be on my Facebook.
What you do to Jai Logic, man?
No, I didn't do that to Jai Logic. I promise you. Bro, it has to be a mistake that I don't know what you talking about.
But I think it looks like
wait.
It looks like Jai Logic.
Hold up, Jai. You the engineer of my show. Why would I take you off of Facebook?
That's what I was saying to myself today.
That don't make sense.
We're not friends on Facebook no more.
Maybe we're never friends.
Let me retract. I'm following you, but we're not friends on here. I'm clicking add right now. It says I'm not.
Maybe you're my follower. Maybe you never befriended me or something. I ain't that petty. I got enemies. Hold on. Let me be frank. I got enemies on Facebook. Okay. I'm talking about real people that I can't stand.
Right.
You be going hard, bro.
I'm definitely not an enemy. But I knew we supposed to revisit this conversation. Next thing I know, Doctor having the conversation. Or
not this conversation.
No, the hip hop joint. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to revisit that. But anyway, I agree with us all leaving as brothers and all that. I just sent you a real friend request. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, look, I ain't petty. I look. Look, me and Tahaka was about to fight. He's still my friend. Literally, me and Tahaka was about to fight. Was we not, Tahaka?
It sure was.
You better rent a ring and make it a thing. You know what I'm saying? Let me produce it. You know what I mean? But no, seriously, that argument though, the connection between this guy who became a relationship coach because he was a quote unquote ex-pimp. Then he became a scholar because he was a documentarian who did a documentary on our culture. Mm-hmm. Now all of a sudden he's a scholar in hip hop. I don't buy it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, at the end of the day, let me just say this. At the end of the day, it's all a money grab. And even us having this conversation, like Doc said, I might go and check it out because of that. I'm like, nah, Doc, don't do it. I get you the bootleg because that's what the purpose of this conversation was about, to get it stirred up and to get people to purchase this nonsense, and they go straight to the bank with it, and then it's on to the next confusion.
But I really want to critique him. But I really want to critique. I really want to critique Tariq Nasheed. I'm sorry. Can I say his name? The brother. His name. I want to critique him because I know at the end of the day, even if I'm having a genuine conversation as I am here, that is not the same case with him.
Yeah, the whole thing about it is that was the design of this conversation. Mm-hmm. And this guy is probably sitting around thinking of the next divisive thing to stir up dialogue in order to sell something that the average person, I just want to critique it, or I just want to give my opinion on it. But it doesn't matter if you critique it or not. It's about going to the bank. It's about going to the bank. And so, nah, bro, I boycott that. Don't purchase that at all, because that was the purpose.
I think
it's like when somebody come for me on the internet, right? And they got a small channel. You know what I mean? I'm not going to respond to it because I'm going to help them more than it's going to help me. And it's the same thing with one with an intentional grift. I'm not going to do just because they are intentionally trying to grift.
When I'm getting my copy. I mean, I need the copy.
I'm gonna talk to my people.
I heard Brother John say he want one too.
But I definitely need a bootleg. But yo, I think it's
what'd you say, John?
You need a bootleg. I definitely need a bootleg. But I think it's about money, but I think it might be deeper than that, because I really truly
it's political too.
Right. To the core.
No.
I believe we had something. You know what I mean? And it's been unraveled with so many different attributes, right?
Listen, just last year, I'm sorry, John, just last year, they was talking about they're going to cancel hip hop as we know it and transfer it to Afro beats. I don't know if y'all heard about that conversation. They have been trying to do something about hip hop so it won't return back to the inspirational roots and the classical hip hop, where although Wu-Tang was in the middle of the fence of what they would call gangster, but they also had these stories, and you know what I mean, these stories that was predicated upon overcoming, you know what I mean? How they talking about they was in the hallway and they was doing these drugs and they had to overcome that and that, you know what I mean? So these inspirational stories. And so it's kind of like, once again, I was talking to Chubb Rock, and he was like, I asked him the question, I'm going to upload the video soon. I say, brother, do you think hip hop will ever go back to that inspirational roots? And I'm saying not like was yesterday, but the inspirational roots. And he said, yes. He said, it's just like the grass. It'll go away and burn down, and it'll regrow.
I hope so. You know what I mean? I hope I'm wrong about
it. And I hope so too. Yeah. And so the whole thing in a nutshell is that this conversation is a whole grift. The whole campaign. It's political to tear down hip hop so it don't return. I think it's going to return in a different form. I don't think it's going to be exactly how we remember it, but I do think, just like everything else, it goes full circle. It'll go full circle.
It's exploiting our tender spots. It's exploiting our weak links. So part of it is, the way I look at it, is not going to tear us down. Whatever you want to call, if we African American, African Puerto Rican American or Afro Latino American, Afro whatever. At the end of the day, there's some weak things that we need to become more solid about. So if those things weren't there, they won't be able to be exploited. So Tariq, he ain't strong enough to do that. But these conversations, I would argue, are important so that we can have important dialogue about it, even if we argue and debating about it to a point. But at the end of the day, there are some differences even within each of these groups that we need to explore to become more healthy, and definitely between these groups. You understand? Right. So I mean, I don't, I see it as another obstacle.
Are you on stronger? I'm sorry to cut your wisdom down. One logic come in. Are you on Twitter, Dr. Daw?
I can't figure it out.
Are you on Twitter, Logic?
I'm not.
Y'all need to get on Twitter because this is why. If you just watch, no, you ain't even got to participate. Mm-hmm. One thing about Twitter is very politically driven. Anytime something is on Twitter as it relates to race relations, you would notice that they pick at scabs of disparities. So in order to sell this documentary, there's Twitter spaces going on talking about we created everything and the immigrants are trying to steal it from us, and it's all political. And if we don't claim our foundational culture, then everybody else is going to claim it for us, and they're going to take with ours. So when you understand how Twitter works, Twitter is a political machine. You feel me? And so these conversations have its birth on Twitter, and it's divisive because it's political as well as it's a grift in order to put money into the person's pocket that is going to come with the next divisive grift later.
I think it's also important to note that
Twitter, and I'm telling you, bro, I want to say it again. Twitter is a dangerous space. You just got to pay attention and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
I want y'all to look up the term rage baited, right? Because that's what they're doing in social media in general. You know, they're making you mad at something and they're baiting you to get into these divisive arguments. And it's similar to the reparations argument. So we know that this dude is pretending to champion or have the strongest organization championing reparations in this country, which isn't true. Not the first, nor the strongest, right?
Yeah, that's an illusion.
But then the biggest part of the illusion is that the people coming from the Caribbean they want to take your reparations. They want to take your hypothetical reparations. They're gonna come from Africa and take your hypothetical reparations. When we should be building with CARICOM, who's fighting for their own reparations in the Caribbean. We should be comparing notes and supporting them getting their reparations from French, the British, the Dutch, etc., as we get our reparations here. You see what
Absolutely. I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. On Twitter, brother, you will see such. I mean, it's so calculated. But the whole thing about it, after the election, it all dies down. Every time. Every single time. It dies down. And guess what comes next? Entertainment. They start highlighting who's the Meek Mill. He was the last time elections went down. It was all about Meek Mill. It was all about his relationship with Nicki. It was all about that fallout. It was all about who else was. I mean, they go straight to entertainment. Then the election season come up, back to reparations. Notice. Moist Lips had a rally and. What's that? 2 years ago. You follow me? The next year he didn't have one. There was nothing going on.
Right.
And this year, have one. It's political, totally politically driven. These people are getting checks from the unseen hand. Absolutely, to promote these type of divisions and confusions.
OG, do you know if they charge people to go to that rally? I'm just curious, out of curiosity.
No. And the thing is, like, what you have to understand is that it's in the middle of the city. So anybody walking past will stop and spectate, and it'll look like a big thing going on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's in the middle. It's in the middle of the city. So like, and it's a warm day outside. And if wait, you from the city? Where you from, Jalaji?
From New York City.
You're from New York City. You ever been to DC?
Of course, I go there all the time.
DC stays busy on the weekend, bro. Like it's the worst traffic on the East Coast on a Saturday. You know what I mean? So if you there on a Saturday, if you do anything on a Saturday there, 9 times out of 10, the spectators, you know what I mean, in conjunction with those who know, it's going to look like something.
Going to look stronger.
Oh, yeah, of course. But most of it be spectators. Just average, everyday people. DC stay packed on the weekend.
Right.
Absolutely.
But anybody who, I don't think nobody in this chat would even fall for that, Griff. But if anybody for some reason is here because they fell for that, nobody's coming for your hypothetical reparations. Build with the people that are also fighting for reparations in the Caribbean as well. And that will be CARICOM, an organization that brings all of the Caribbean countries together to fight for their needs.
Hey Doc, what did you do to Ja Logic, brother? I need you to come clean. What did you do?
What do you mean?
On this conversation, brother. What did
I do to him?
Because you came on in and said, man, I was talking to a brother such and such amount of hours, and this is the brother here. What happened, brother?
We had like I told you, runaway shop talk. That's all. We have shop talk. Just like I had shop talk with you.
Hey, we had a healthy debate. It was definitely healthy. We definitely both got boisterous. I don't mind boisterous. I don't mind the part, but what I'm not sure exactly which part I did to, like, if I did anything to offend him, but I did, and he knows at one point get offended in the debate, and that's when he was trying to make it seem that I was giving people from Afro Latino or Afro Caribbean more grace to rep their countries than African Americans.
Well, since he bring it up, I'm gonna tell you what happened. John said. So I said, look. So I asked him about my man Fat Joe or something, somewhere Fat Joe, because Fat Joe get to use nigga. And I'm like, I mean, literally, I can understand why some people think he shouldn't. The world ain't Brooklyn. I mean, ain't the Bronx. One thing. 2, we ain't gonna act like Puerto Ricans don't think that we niggas, even if we do see them as the same people. But even us, we see each other as different in many ways. I get all of that, but ain't nobody gonna sit here and try to convince me that all the racist things Puerto Ricans tell me that they've learned that don't exist. But the fact that so now to try to say Fat Joe is 10 toes down with black people, he can be down 10 toes with black people. I said he's also 10 toes down and proud of being Puerto Rican.
And I said as he should.
And you said as he should. And then it got to the point. I said, but I feel it seems like you're saying that black people or in America can't, or American Africans can't be the same. I said, it seems, it's given. Then he said, that's not what I'm saying. Then maybe a few seconds later, he said, fuck America.
Goodness is great. Oh,
and that was a few seconds later.
I did.
He said, fuck America.
Oh, my God.
About. That is the energy that you were giving.
But I was talking about the red, white, and blue.
But we were talking in a context, though. We were.
But I was talking about the red, white, and blue.
I can give that to you, but in the context, we were talking about Black Americans and Puerto Rican Americans being proud of their where they are. And then you started going through Haiti and Puerto Rico and Jamaicans, indigenous names. Although I look up Puerto Rico and it's not necessarily so.
Puerto Rico, I said Haiti and Jamaica.
But they can be proud of Puerto Rico, though. You say, although it still ain't.
Let me ask you. Right? Is Haiti or Dominican Republic or Jamaica or any of these Caribbean islands funding genocide currently?
Yes.
They're fueling like the Israeli war.
They exploiting the people on the islands.
No, the people on the islands are getting exploited, right?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, are those countries proactively doing what the U.S. of A. is doing to further oppress people around this globe?
So my answer to that question, I won't be set up like that. Nor are Black Americans or African Americans.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. So I agree with that.
That's why I'm gonna answer that question.
And that's why I wasn't coming at African Americans. But when we seen seemingly, and I'm not accusing you of this, but when it seems that we are more proud to be American than African because we too busy trying to separate, to unite and embrace the Pan-African thought or the Pan-Moorish thought, because even if you rock it with the Moorish ideology, right, that means those people in the Caribbean were also from Moorish descent, because the New World started in the so-called Caribbean, right? So at the end of the day, what unites us is what I'm rocking with, not with divide us. Not with dividers.
But I get it. I get what you're saying. But can you see in the context, and we were talking about that conversation, when you say F America, after I say black, I'm talking about black Americans, and then you say fuck America because I said black Americans want to identify with their own. Excuse my language. I'm quoting right, but pardon.
Yeah,
So in that context, can you see how that? In my mind, in my behind, meaning my body, that affirms exactly what it was giving. I can,
but that's not where I was coming from, and I stand by my word.
Brother John Logic, are you from the Caribbean?
So that's a funny question. So when I answered that in the conversation, they was like, "See, that's where you."
No, that wasn't me though. That wasn't me.
No, I'm only asking because listen, I understand.
I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying when we had that.
Let me say I understand both sides of the argument and the frustrations of both sides of the argument. Nothing bothers me.
Right. No, I'm not saying you was though. I'm not saying you was. I was
I'm saying that wasn't me who said C.
Yeah, I was saying.
Are you from the Caribbean?
My mother was born in Haiti, and she was raised in the States in Queens, right? And my father side of the family is from Virginia / Harlem / Queens. They came.
And so Doc can't say too much.
Look, it's right there in the chat. Right there in the chat. As soon as I said that, what bingo.
No. The reason why I said, listen, I understand both sides of our frustrations, though. You know what I'm saying?
I told you, Doc. I told you.
That's not me, though.
As soon as I tell people I got both, they see.
No.
You know what I
mean? But I can understand why one would say F America, though. I can understand that.
I can see that. But in the context we were talking about, that was out of order.
Yeah. I get what you're saying too. But I can understand both sides of the argument.
I don't always agree, but I understand.
But in the context, I ain't even talking about that.
In the context, how you would have been one track mind in the debate.
It ain't no one track mind. We were talking about something very specific.
Well, I kept trying
we were talking about something very specific.
I kept trying to bring the conversation back to hip hop, and you kept trying to go somewhere else too.
It was built off of hip hop and the people involved in hip hop. We can still move forward with this, not making this creation that's utopic and act like people like my man, what's his name, Fat Joe, ain't 10 toes down, as that was the argument with Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm saying that we can be, and we, if you want, and like I said, you can call it New African, you can call it North American, you can call it whatever.
I just want to say something about Fat Joe real quick. He wasn't 10 toes down in the part where he was down with the Puerto Ricans that were getting at blacks and vice versa. He was never part of that though.
No, he wasn't a part of that. And I read.
That's not even what I'm saying though.
I'm just saying.
What I'm saying is a part of his heritage. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that it's given that many times it gives that Black Americans or whatever you want to call it, whatever word you come with, Moorish American, I don't care. What I'm saying is that it gives that we can't do the same thing. And then after American in that same context just puts fire on top of it.
I hear you. And then my response to that was, if we were talking about jazz, if we were talking about blues, if we were talking about rock, these genres that were created by Africans in America in the South, then you would have a point. But we talking about the Africans that were in New York City that happened to come in the shape and form of Afro-Caribbeans, Afro-Latinos, and so-called African-Americans and or Moorish Americans, respectfully.
That's not, again, that was a different conversation, though.
No, that's my conversation.
No. What I kept telling, what we're talking about people being proud, it has nothing to do with music at this point.
No, it was always. Didn't I say he took it from hip hop? That was always.
Again, I clearly said that I took it. We built off of hip hop and got to some more racial issues that existed. So the racial issue itself doesn't always have to tie back to hip hop. It doesn't. It's a racial issues within hip hop and outside of hip hop. It's greater than hip hop. So in the racial issues, even including with a Fat Joe, is bigger than hip hop.
But what was the conversation? What was the structure of the conversation to begin with? I think that's what happens with these conversations. We veer off and we forget the structure of the
conversations can evolve, Brother Talker. They can.
But no. If we're going to deal with a subject matter, I think that's where we go off.
No,
Let's stick to the subject matter.
We can have various discussions on different levels about, and it could have started with that conversation. But my point is, it goes back to hip hop. It goes back to hip hop.
I get what you're saying. And we should always.
I'm gonna tell you why it goes back to hip hop.
I get what you're saying.
It goes back.
In a good conversation, to me, a good conversation, it stays on the subject matter, so we can get to the actual purpose of the conversation, and that is to pull off the layers, peel back the layers, and get to the truth.
Okay, what's the truth? What's the truth
about hip hop is a Pan-African culture?
Yeah, the truth is it's a collective, and you agree with that.
So what the
take away the Pan-African language from it. It's a collective.
Because you know what I said that agrees with what you're saying too. I said it was Pan-African in nature, not because they had to ask for permission, not because they were running around wearing the beads, which they eventually did, not because they was running around wearing red, black, and green, which they eventually did, because in its essence. They
say you got an apartment adjacent to the FBA building.
In its essence, look, in its essence, in its creation, right? Whether the people came together to say we're going to do something Pan-African or not, that's just what it was.
Yeah, I don't think people came together and say that. It's just children. You got to remember that these are children living in the same neighborhoods, most likely, or they're intersecting in schools or intersecting in the park, and I mean, like we got to take it out of. Sometimes we got to take it off the scholastic perspective and just look how we grew up. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Just look how we grew up.
This whole argument is scholastic, though.
No. I say for a second. Let's put ourselves in the shoes of a community. I mean, that's what I mean by that. I'm not saying we're gonna take scholarship off the table. Let's put ourselves in a community.
I could never agree that the conversation doesn't have wider conversations to surround the very argument, why the argument is being had in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, y'all can stay there and try to stay in the bubble and keep going back to hip hop, but the conversation is greater than hip hop, and that's not what
birthed the conversation.
All right,
what birthed this conversation?
I'm gonna go because it's 12:17.
Okay. What birthed the conversation was Lord Jamar's statement against KRS-One. That's what birthed this conversation.
I want to say one last
and the documentary is what birthed the conversation to try to exclusively say that it was a black. That's what birthed the conversation.
Facts. I just want to say one thing before we both go, because I'm not going to just stick up here after Doc leave, right? Because that is my whole entry point to the conversation.
What's the thing?
I said I want to say something before you leave, because I'm gonna leave too, right? Because you're the reason why I'm here, right? Salute to you both. They try to always, like Lord Jamar and etc., try to bring up these points that you have prejudiced Latinos, or and then some people try to bring up how they were people from the Caribbean culture who were not, maybe gel well with African Americans or Moorish Americans, or however you want to consider it, right? But I would like to say, we do that to each other right here. We don't get along with the projects across the street.
I agree with that, though. And we should have that talk. We should have that talk.
We should, but
we should have that talk.
So, but what
hip-hop didn't even bring us together, the ones that you agreed is black.
But it did.
That talk. What I'm saying is,
hold on. I just want to land my plane. I just want to land my plane. This is why we needed a fresh one. I want to land my plane though, right? Because what hip-hop did was allow the gangs to have a place where they could put down the violence, to have a place where the different people from different parts of the diaspora came together. You see what I'm saying? So that's what hip hop gave us. And this argument is taking that away from us. That's my point. It was a cultural exchange there that just genuinely happened amongst Africans that end up in this culture, in this country from different places. And we are behind enemy lines.
So let me ask you, do you see a rift between the Americans, the Jamaicans, and that's coming from this conversation, and the Puerto Ricans?
I actually do. I have a good brother who knows a lot of the OGs and hip hop. He's one of them, but he's also Jamaican. And right now, him and Lord Jamar is going at it on Instagram. Digger had to hit him up behind the scenes and try to be streety. You see what I'm saying? It is. Even down to us having that debate like the other day. It's like, yo, the fact that we go so hard with this debate and it's such a BS,
I don't even know the debate though. I don't even know what Tariq Nasheed is saying. I'm saying I don't watch him.
Right. But the debate is, I'll let Taga Bay so eloquently.
So before we get out of here, Doc, don't you drop off real quick. So the birthing of this conversation is that quote unquote Black Americans exclusively created hip hop without anybody else there, just us.
Correct.
As an island of our own.
Correct.
That's the conversation. So we could add other elements to but that's not the conversation that brought forth this current argument.
Okay.
Lord Jamar is live right now saying that the debate is off the table. His debate is exclusively, he's saying exclusively that we, with no one else around, created hip hop. There wasn't a Jamaican around. But no. What I'm saying, Doc, is that's the argument that brings this conversation to the internet in this hour.
I think the argument would be more like what you said.
No. What I'm saying is we can create another argument, but that's not.
You said that the argument is that we dominated those brothers.
Absolutely, brother.
The African Americans.
Absolutely, we dominate everything. We the best at it.
Yo, Doc, you see that name in the chat? I brought that name up in our debate the other day. That Cito Barry said, Tego.
So what's the name say? Being around ain't the same as creating it. My thing is this. My thing is this.
His argument too. He was saying it was around. They didn't help create it.
I agree with that too. However, when you have someone, and I would recommend if Fat Joe going to get into the conversation, he's from the Bronx. He should be able to find someone that knows someone that was actually participating. It shouldn't be that hard. You know what I'm saying? Just like me and you in Baltimore right now, Doc, if we wanted to find someone that knows someone connected to Frank Ski, it will be quite easy. So, they can dead this argument overnight, but it's not about deading this argument. Remember, it's about this grift to sell these Blu-ray DVDs.
I want to everybody look up Tape Master. He passed away. Tape Master is the Puerto Rican Afro-Latino brother who recorded all the earlier hip-hop tapes down to when he was about to pass away. He recorded all the earlier ones. So all of the time when you see the documentaries where hip-hop heads say, you know what got me into it? When my older brother and my older cousin came to my house with the tapes, that tape was produced by an Afro-Latino brother who was right there, part of it in the mix, down to that first hip-hop record that stole Grandmaster Cash Rymes because they heard it on a Tape Master's tape. That's just one example.
Well, let's get out of here, brother. Logic, man, you welcome to come to the show anytime, and we're about to do a show about culture in America. You should come on.
I'm a rock with you. I'll be in the chat, but I'm gonna pull up. I appreciate it.
All right, that's what's up. Appreciate you.
Doc,
hey, Doc.
Salute.
Hey, Doc.
Yeah.
So, Doc.
Yes, sir.
So we got some stuff coming up, bro. I think one of our conversations got to be do black Americans have culture, bro? I think we need to pull back them layers, bro. What is culture, bro?
I'm gonna agree with Mazak. The Caribbean is America's, Puerto Rico is the Americas. The elements that create hip hop were birthed out of America. It has strong Southern.
roots. I agree with you on that.
So I'm saying I didn't know what the argument is, but I don't like the idea that
it's either one or the other. That's this argument though.
Say it again.
This argument was
so it's one or the other. I don't like that, and two, the fact that what we just happened just now with Brother Logic, to be a buck, is that somehow you can say F American culture in the context of me saying he can be proud, so then I can be proud, and then you say F America. I'm not feeling that, honestly.
Right.
Can't nobody convince me that in that context, that when you say that, after I'm saying I can't be proud of my culture in America, but Fat Joe can, and you say F America?
Yeah, that's definitely out of context.
So I don't care. What someone saying, I don't care when you say we have to, because you joined the conversation at that point, not you, but you joined the conversation at that point. Whether or not you say I moved the goalpost, you joined it and then just obliterated it. Even at least you tried to. So I can't get with that ABC stuff.
But
Page
say John Logic stated he was wrong.
Huh?
He said he was.
But what I'm saying is, he said he was wrong, but that's not what he said. It was like a half thing.
Y'all got to understand, Doc is from East Baltimore. Y'all you got to understand.
Hey, Page, chill out. I don't know who you are, but nonetheless,
East Baltimore.
Where Page from?
Page of Morse. He from Morse. He from Morse. He from Morse World TV.
Page, you've been making some sly comments, man. Come and get some of this jerk. Come this jerk chicken sweat juice from me. But what
next show, bro. What do you think about Trump, bro? What do you think about Trump? Do you think?
Look, I'm afraid to speak on Trump, man, because that's America.
Do you think it was staged?
Huh?
Do you think it was staged? I'm putting out a video tomorrow. Oh, family, listen, I got a video I'm dropping of me and Doc having this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna drop it tomorrow at 3:00. We were in the field. Ain't that something? We were at the what was that? The Gwinnett Park.
All right, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yes.
Before you go, man.
But no, I want to tell them that we're gonna be. I'm dropping that tomorrow. And it's a nice that conversation that we had. It's already up. It's already loaded and ready to go. Family, and if you enjoy these conversations, family, please go and support these uploads that I'm gonna be putting up. I got some stuff that I'm gonna be putting in the the membership section. I got some serious stuff coming up, but this is a link to one that I uploaded. I was talking to a Hebrew brother. The next one I'm uploading, me and Dr. Dar was getting to the conversation. We talked about hip hop. We talked about Busta Rhymes. We talked about quite a few things. It's a 20-minute conversation that we had yesterday.
Hold on, who took our title, bro?
What's that?
Somebody took our title?
Nah, that's us.
That's you.
That's us.
Okay.
So go. So if you see Unbiased Perspective, that is a platform we're going to be building by the way of Morse World TV and connecting to that. Go there and to subscribe, because we're gonna man, Dr. Daw, we got some stuff, we got some opinions to put to the table. It is what it is. So go there to subscribe. And as we build up our subscription there, we're going to start doing once a week here on Morse World TV, Unbiased Perspective. Now, I might have to put an ED on it. But whatever the case.
You got to put an S on it.
Yeah.
And the ED.
ED. I mean, yeah. But we're going to be doing it once. We're going to be doing it once a week here. And I really value Dr. Ausar opinion, his professional opinion. When he get worked up, the one thing I love about brother Ausar is that he's the real deal. He is Dr. Ausar. But as you can see, I'm just saying, you didn't buy it. You didn't go to one of them little storefront places and got a piece of paper. You know what I mean? But he's the real deal. He's the real deal. But nevertheless, if he gets worked up, you're going to see where he come from. And that's how we should always be. We should always be our true selves. It is what it is.
Demarginalized perspective.
That's right. There we go. Hey, R&B God, you ain't gonna let that one go in. We like it. That's a good one. Let me see. Demarginalized.
Look, man.
Marginalized. Demarginalization. Let me see.
Look, man. Let me say this last thing. Lord Jamar is out of pocket.
But that's legitimate. That was legitimate.
But we ain't gonna ask like and Busta's out of pocket. I don't know about the rest of them. What I'm saying is, we ain't gonna act like this thing ain't happening for real. And if that video wasn't before this movie, I mean before this thing that Tariq Nasheed said. But what I'm saying is, I love all my brothers and sisters from the Caribbean.
Look at the Ricans for truth. Islands. My people in the building.
Who that?
Don't say, you better be careful. Rican for truth is in the building.
Look, man. Look.
Now I'm just playing.
The young lords, the young lords connected with the Black Panthers, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm about unity, man. Absolutely.
The Young Lords connected with the Black Panthers, and guess who else connected with the Black Panthers?
Who else?
What they call the young I can't think about.
I know Fred Hampton had some Europeans rocking with him.
They had the Confederate flags. I forgot what they called the young but anyway, the Young Lords and the Black Panthers was like this. So I know that we united on some fronts even bigger than hip hop.
Absolutely.
But what I am also saying, we also have to acknowledge the areas that we have to grow in.
So family, every Monday, me and Dr. Dog gonna be right here. I would love to see y'all leave something in the chat. Would you prefer a daytime show or evening show? I think we decided on doing a daytime show. But we're gonna have some serious topics every Monday. And our mission is to enter in some of these conversations to bring better perspective, because all of these high dollar, high budget podcasters, they're really just playing to the camera, and they playing to a political agenda, period, point blank. And I want to see fresh thoughts and fresh ideas come to the brought to the table to address some of these things, that these social ills, if you will. But with that being said, Dr. Dog, take us out, brother. What you got? What you got going on? What you got next?
What I got next, family, follow me at Dr. That's Dr. Dennis Ausar Winkler on YouTube, TikTok, not Facebook, but what's the other thing, Brother Tahaka? TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Facebook, Dennis Ausar Winkler. We always got things going on. What we got coming up next, Brother Talk over here? We got.
I don't know, bro. Who's the next?
I got Malefic Asante, Dr. Malefic Asante, who's speaking on being human being, which is right in line with what we're talking about here, where we actually move past this racial discourse and this ethnic discourse and start looking at each other as brothers and sisters. And I want to let you know, you are my brother. Check out the video I reposted today when you see my brother Danny from Puerto Rico saying that we are all African. And to the core, that's my understanding. You know what I'm saying? But I do think we have to flesh these things out to get closer and closer back to that true African essence.
That's what I'm talking about. So family, the next time you see us, we're going to be at our studio location. That's right. It's going to be Unbiased Perspective with myself and Dr. Dog. Brother, I talked to you in the AM. I'm about to get out of here myself. Peace and love.
Peace.
So family, at the end of the day, family, I need y'all to go and look at these videos that I'm uploading. Listen, I got some research. I have some videos that I'm putting together now about some unseen confessions from the children that was a part of the Dr. York's organization. And the confessions is not that Dr. York did something to them. The confessions is that he did nothing to them. And I have the lost interviews where they are saying that they were told to say that he did something. That's going to be on the website. Also, I'll be revealing the website soon, as well as it's going to be in the membership section. I'm gonna start it in the membership section, but it's gonna blow your mind. I'm researching the Dr. York case. I'm of the thought that something happened, not sure to what level that it happened. And so I'm revisiting it. I'm pulling it apart, and I'm going to bring my findings as I pull it apart. But right now I have actual interviews with quite a few children that they tried to convince. So I think that's an interesting thing to be researching right now, because all of this crazy stuff going on in the world, when we start to peel back the layers and see all the setups, and even if one was guilty of certain crimes or even if they're heinous crimes. Did they get a fair trial? Was it a setup? Was it this or that? You know what I mean? I want to find out for myself. And so I'm going to deliver to you whatever I find. But I do have these interviews that I'll be sharing within the next, probably in the next 3-4 days in the membership section. With that being said, peace and love, family. I will see you tomorrow. I'm gonna and support the uploads. Because I'm gonna do a lot of stuff on the ground, family. I'm gonna do a lot of stuff on the ground. I'm going to interview some dope fiends. I'm sorry if that it said not to sway your content. I ended up resigning from Zulu Nation for the allegations on BAM. Oh, absolutely. I think that was a smart room, Reeking for Truth. I think that was a smart room. And because BAM has not responded to it, makes it even worse. It's not like Dr. York, he's in jail and he denies the allegations, but it's so much stuff there. I think it's so much stuff that has not been heard. And I got a lot of stuff that people haven't heard. You know what I mean? I got a lot of stuff people haven't heard. And I just give it to the people. Let the people make the decision. You know what I mean? Let the people make the decision. I'm not going to be the judge and jury. I'm not going to say he's innocent or guilty, but I will put out an alternative to what we know as it relates to information as well as research. I mean, with that being said, family, I appreciate each and every one of you. I will be here tomorrow, or I will have a fresh upload. Thank you so much for the follow, Reeking for Truth, and all of you that are in this chat right now or will come later. Always hit the thumbs up, because the true channels are the thorough channels. They don't get the love that they should get. So you got to show the love and push the algorithms for us. With that being said, peace and love, family. Peace.